We have an update on Stone Cold Steve Austin's WrestleMania 41 status, plus the backstage WWE reaction to John Cena's heel turn keeps coming in, and Will Ospreay addresses those comments by Triple H and WWE fan backlash as well. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. You know who does a really good Steve Austin impression? This guy right here.
Fuck you, yeah!
It's like Austin is in the building.
I don't know about that one.
He could be in the building for WrestleMania. So let's wind it back a little bit. A little bit. We were meant to maybe see Austin last year at WrestleMania. We got The Undertaker instead.
We did. I think a lot of us were sort of hoping, or at least thinking, that he'd be in the mix somehow, considering The Rock played a big part in everything.
Let's see where we're at this year, though.
Well, Austin spoke to the Schmo whilst at the Mint 400 event about his status for WrestleMania. He was asked about it. He said, "Hey, I haven't been in contact with anybody, so I guess anything could happen, but I'm here to run the Mint 400, and that's what my sights are set on. I'm not looking to Mania, I'm looking to the Mint 400. I got a brand new knee. This is my first race back, so I'm going to go out there and kick ass and see if I can do as well as I can."
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance. I mean, he didn't say no.
He didn't say no. In a previous interview as well, this is going back in August, you may remember that Austin had said that when it comes to WrestleMania 41, if Cody needs another hand, I'll be there. Austin has just had knee surgery. He's moving better than he's ever moved before.
Yep.
Loves his racing. That's why he was there. Let's not take the eye off the ball there at the Mint 400. But I think the thing is, this coming WrestleMania, it has an opportunity to be, I described this to my wife the other day, as the Empire Strikes Back of WrestleMania.
Okay.
In the sense that this is like the night where like the baddies properly win.
Oh, I do like that as well.
Yeah.
I do really, considering everything that we got last year too. I kind of like that a lot.
In order for that to happen, that would mean Steve Austin probably not being a part of it until WrestleMania 42.
Oh, wow. Oh, we're waiting out for it then.
If that's what they do, alternatively, this could just be another case of Cody Rhodes rising up against the wrong uns of the world, with Steve Austin this time maybe running down and make that save. I think if Steve Austin's going to run down and make the save in the main event of WrestleMania, if that is maybe what we get, Cody has to win. I think Steve Austin running down and losing, I don't know.
But maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's how it is. The Empire Strikes Back. You still have Steve Austin come running out, but it's still not enough. The duo of The Rock and John Cena is far too powerful to behold.
Just too powerful.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to keep an eye on Steve Austin's status. I know that the brilliant Adrian Hernandez, who does the Unlikely podcast, is I think he's dropping a Steve Austin interview at 3:16 a.m. tomorrow morning.
That's very good.
Cheeky devil. I'm intrigued to hear what comes out of that, because I like hearing Adrian and Austin having a chat. Meanwhile, John Cena's heel turn continues to be the big wrestling story of the week. Behind the scenes at WWE, according to Fightful, there was a lot of pleasant shock when it went down. Sean Ross Sapp says this was the type of thing that even people on the roster hadn't thought was possible, but just didn't think would happen. There was a lot of excitement on the roster because they knew it would lead to more eyes on the show. And I genuinely think this is one of those moments that will bring lapsed fans back, and already has begun to bring lapsed fans back.
Absolutely. It's kind of just like, again, much like as we saw, when Joe Hendry's rise, like it was meteoric, and you saw people, it transcended the world of wrestling, and you saw people who maybe, like you said, were lapsed fans or maybe didn't know too much about wrestling, but know like the name of John Cena, be like, oh my God, this guy who's been the good guy for the longest time and like carried the company through so many eras has now done the unthinkable and turned evil.
But also a lot of fans who watched John Cena carry the company and were sick to the back teeth of him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who dropped off of WWE because they were just sick of top babyface John Cena always saving the day, and it just got old and long in the tooth. So there'll be a few who will go like, bloody lass, let's watch it now and see how he does.
And I mean, I'm so happy that this is happening as well, because I feel like it would have been one of the biggest what ifs in wrestling to see John Cena hit the heights that he hit and remain that babyface for such a long period within his career. if he'd have finished this tour, this retirement tour that he's doing, and not turned heel, I mean, people would have been happy anyway because we get to see John Cena one final time. But I feel like it would have been one of the biggest what ifs that we'd have been talking about for years and years and years. So the fact that we're actually getting it is really, really incredible.
We know that John Cena is advertised for SmackDown on the way to WrestleMania and coming out of WrestleMania as well. We can also give you an update on Randy Orton's pre-WrestleMania status as well.
Yeah, so in the last few hours, Orton has been announced for SmackDown emanating from Barcelona, Bologna, and London en route to WrestleMania 41. No matches have been announced, but a showdown with Kevin Owens is obviously expected to happen. We saw what happened at Elimination Chamber. He geared up for the punt. And we're probably going to get that at WrestleMania, I think.
It's the battle of the two career-ending finishes.
Yes, it is.
The pile driver.
Package pile driver.
Versus the punt.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. But we're going to get that at Mania. But on the journey there, I think we're probably going to see Randy Orton nearly kick Kevin Owens across Europe.
We'll get it a few takes. Like Kevin will almost do another package pile driver, and Orton will almost punt kick at Kevin. Oh, it'll be lovely.
One little rivalry that bubbled away last year that didn't play out at WrestleMania, but played out during WrestleMania week, was Will Ospreay and Triple H. So during WrestleMania week, Triple H last year was on the Pat McAfee show and spoke when it came to prospective WWE talent and said, when I see people coming out and trying to make it, and they pick a job where they work less, the schedule's lighter, I'm glad I didn't pick you. If you're not in it for the grind at that point early in your career, you have no business being here. And now it wasn't outwardly said that it was Will Ospreay, but at that point Will Ospreay was in negotiations with lots of sides, so a lot of people connected the dots there. Ospreay made comments about Triple H on AEW television as well, and in a brand new interview with Chris Van Vliet, he has addressed further that back and forth with Trips and himself, and some of the backlash that he's received for his style and his presentation in AEW from very staunch WWE fans.
Yeah, so if you recall as well, when Triple H said the things that he did on the Pat McAfee show, he didn't actually say Will Ospreay's name, but again, as you said, it was very much alluded, and Will Ospreay goes on to say, as Tom was saying there on the Chris Van Vliet podcast in the interview, he said, it's about me. I won't throw anyone under the bus, but it was about me. I'm not taking it personally in that, it hurt my feelings. It's like, you take a jab at me, I'll take one back. There's nothing horrible about it. I don't hate the guy. I've never met him. How can you hate somebody that I've never met? I've never spoken to him. I have an agent who talked to everyone, and I told everybody about my situation and why I wanted to remain in the UK, which is why that hurt me a little bit. Not to the point where it keeps me up at night. Okay, you take a jab at me, I take one back. That's it. We're done.
So there we go. Also spoke about some of the backlash he's had from the very stoic WWE fans online. Don't know whether you've noticed, but when you go online, there's people who are very passionate about what T-shirt a wrestler wears.
Yeah.
And on the subject of critical WWE fans, Will Ospreay has come out with a bagger of a line and said, can I say that word on YouTube? Do we know? Not the first one. Obviously, that one I can't. Can
I don't
say
know.
that one?
I'm actually not too sure, Tom.
Can I say that one?
I don't know.
I might say it, and then we can figure it out in post, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's try it.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do.
On the subject of critical WWE fans, Will Ospreay said, if I'd gone there, they'd be effing whacking into effing tissues over me, but it's the same. That's why you have to separate it. Otherwise, you drive yourself insane. If you have something that you're passionate about, you really don't care about what people are saying who have never impacted your career in your entire life. We are the second most profitable wrestling company of all time. That's not talked about enough, and everyone wants to dig on it. There's things that we could genuinely improve on, and I think it's fair to listen to some criticism, but for me, I don't lose sleep over anyone trying to tell me how to wrestle. I think no matter what side of the wrestling world that you live on, the advice that I was always told, if they don't pay your bills, don't pay them no mind.
That's the one.
That's Yas Queen.
Yes, Queen.
It's a great interview with Will, with Chris Van Vliet, as it always is with CVV and the lads. Worth checking that one out as well. I would be intrigued to see, I'll forever be intrigued to see how Will Ospreay would be presented in WWE.
I feel like that's, when we hear about potential free agents at the time, like we did with Okada as well, I think there's always the intrigue of how WWE would present somebody like that. And there always will be, I think, too. Maybe one day we do see him go over there, maybe we don't. Time will tell. But I think I think you'd be silly not to be curious at least about the prospects of it. But yeah.
One might salivate over such a thing. Predictions for AEW Revolution on the channel a little bit later on today. You can check out 9 pitches for this weekend's event as well. And what happened and the WTF moment with Ross Tweddle coming up as well for Revolution. It's a busy couple of days.
It's a busy couple of days indeed.
Down them YouTube minds. And for the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Keys.
I love you. Bye.